college and you are in the country. I became a coach from showing to the whole Ghana public that this man after football he will become a coach because I became a coach player.
And quale Sunday mafa clock where danike mafa clock egali ni baposto o ya fo ni teneke gbobole ya fo no ko fi oni kwa bobonu woyi
chiko kwa no aka ke ni negbe shemo fi okwe ba ye miniba
o me se gbe ake yo ya ke ndumo se mo gba mi wo loko fi mi
ke be no ye no ko ba
o loko ba ko me na mi ndumo se
ma o fa ne bo won ta wole aga o ye ko
oh lo fine ana zonke shifu fulengelenge ko yen wonu emi wo le spice un fine ni tole 7 ni je no ba yen fine she me go me get poison one ni tuba for fio she na mi ike mo go yo pen get poison gbo.
Coaching is putting your thinking into action. That is what coaching is about. Now I study them, I show them, I revisited the match they played against us. Then I saw that we gave them enough space to operate because they are full of techniques. The boys, the 14, 20, 10, 8, 12. Very, very with the ball when you give them space. So we try something called tracking and getting free. Track them, get free and play. So we deny them the space for them to maneuver.
In terms of power play, it's zilch. If you watch our game against Mali, the young man was running away from taking the ball. He didn't want it. Give me away. He was practically running away. He was running away when we were being marooned and we were under attack from the Malians, and he had the opportunity of staking a claim in the team. Anytime an attempt was made to him with the ball, with the pass,
he's running away,
leaving the ball, hiding behind opponents. This whole Telemundo is like it's something that sometimes
for the uninitiated, Telemundo is a channel that shows telenovelas.
Yes.
So this is like a soap opera.
It's like a soap opera. This clearly is a soap opera. It's winding down. So let's call Extremadura man from Extremadura man. Mora. When the ball is coming to the player, he's running away. You know what's the game? And shockingly, there's a certain miraculous acrobatism.
Charlie, no, I like the last two. Give me a conclusion.
Oh, Charlie. My two man, I say my hips don't lie.
Oh, Charlie.
Too much.
Oh,
Tusha. Perfection. Oh, Tusha, you are perfection.
Oh, Charlie.
One more line.
Oh, Charlie.
I say, oh, my two man, I say my hips don't lie.
We were there, then we heard that Cote d'Ivoire have demanded $20,000 before they play the World Cup. So we was like, damn, this is the first time we qualify for World Cup.
So well.
So we did the meeting. I, John Mensah, Stephen Appiah, Bafojan, Sami Kofo, and the Yusuf Chipsa was accountant, you know. So he was with a pen, you know. We are 5 there. Someone and the other guys were there. So we was like, come on. So what do? We qualify for first time. We are going to play Italy. Kai, you know, our guys say we can't beat Italy. Come on.
I see my channel. No, Mr. said there, Master son players are cooked up mamma team master. Players better Master son. Team and why shit. Team would have been press the mammy. Sakim CH. Where? Sakim CH. Aha. Timo Werner. What's it? Timo Werner. Aha. Caves. Why? Caves. Caves me I saw. Is it? Sister Sikulator, woman of more. Sister Sikulator, only more. I almost say a Brazil anyway. That's I know. Brazil anyway. Almost one said syllable. So I Tiago Silva. Tiago Silva. You say
me the Felix you wanna get stand. My stand be say me Adamu. I don't go need my job. Go marry. No, you see, I don't need my job. Go marry.
So you refuse to punish them.
They're not the punishment. It serves you right. No, not the punishment. See. You choose love over job. That is exactly what you do. Because see what Richard Atta go do. Football no day. Richard Atta go marry. Yeah. So with the footballer, see, from August 2019 to December 29, we don't play football. You marry. We start late after we fall. You say they go marry.
That be the time where money catch.
No. So you choose love over career. And so if today you get your lover, the coach say they give you more time to go chop love. So it's not a big deal. Me, I guess that I thought that this matter.
Does Don Botte still want to play football? You are 36 years old.
Forget about the age.
We cannot forget about the age, Don. You are 36.
Yeah, 36. You doubt 36. Me, forget about the age. What you want me to come and do for you?
You still think you can perform at the highest level?
Why?
In Ghana?
Yeah. Not in Ghana, sir.
Anywhere?
Yeah.
You train?
Serious.
By yourself?
Always.
Why don't you want to join a club and train?
You see, that's what I'm saying. Them themselves, they don't believe themselves. The coaches don't believe themselves. They are not real coaches. They don't. You have to believe yourself that no, this guy can do it for me. If you believe me, I can do it. But so far as you just relax yourself, no. If I come safe, I won't get that spirit because you don't believe me.
So you think that if a Premier League team were to give you an opportunity to play, you would make an impact?
Ghana, yeah.
Yes.
I can play past all the current players.
The
current players in Ghana Premier League.
That's a serious statement coming from somebody who hasn't played in almost a year.
You know something? I know myself. That's why I said, if you don't know me, you don't know me.
You see, as for a game, like when you get a chance, every blessed player will decide to score, and then will decide to catch the ball. So when you both decide together, then you miss the chance. I decide differently, and he also decided differently, and our decision was together. That's why he was able to catch the ball. So I think next time I'll raise my head and watch the goal post and put the ball.
You have 3 or 4 phones. What messages have you been receiving?
I haven't even read them because they keep on coming. I think that I have to turn one of the phone off.
You haven't read any of them? Messages?
No, not at all. Look, they still calling. Phones are calling.
Odum has blamed the grass for his defeat. The sun when it came out, the sun when it went down, the rain when it fell, the rain when it didn't fall, the pole because it was too rusty, the net because some part was torn, his opponent because their fans were shouting.
Are you saying that Odum blames everything, the elements,
by himself?
It is
never his fault. In fact, some famous Odum interview, he said that, he said that the team lost because the defenders know. They were supposed to be playing 3 back. And when they are in transition, they are supposed to go for it, but they were not going for it. And I was telling them, go for it, and they were not minding me. And now I'm very, very disappointed in my place.
You are really wrong for this. You are wrong for this.
It's Friday night again. Benjamin and Ketia here, Sports Panorama. We are live. It's a big weekend. Hey, Charlie, hold on before I even talk about the weekend. Joao Felix. Hey, Charlie. Charlie, there are debuts and there are debuts. What? We'll be talking about that. In fact, we need to digest the Chelsea issues properly on the show today. 1 win in 9 matches. 1. Nah, Charlie. I say early days yet. I say let Graham Potter see out his tenure. You know? Don't be sacking coaches left, right, center. Let them do their work. He's barely been in the job 6 months. We'll discuss that in a bit. There's a Manchester derby on our hands. These days, Manchester City say the city of Manchester belongs to them. United say they're on the come up. Remember, the first leg of this game has happened already. It was not pretty at all for Ten Hag. Can he do one over Pep Guardiola? There's a North London derby as well. So there will be a lot of shenanigans at the top of the table this weekend. We'll be discussing that as well. The Chan kicks off today. Opening match just kicked off a while ago. Morocco, the defending champions, have decided to withdraw from the competition. Some politics in there between Algeria and Morocco. Crazy. Diplomacy spreading its tentacles into football. So that's what's going on. So probably brought to us by Betway. Our Betway say get ready for a chance to win big in the Betway Athena Kessie jackpot. Pick 17 with only 1 Citi 50 pesos and you could win 16.5 million Ghana cedis. You heard that right. You can also play the item 13 jackpot with just 1 Citi to win 270,000 Ghana cedis, or play the tap-in jackpot with only 50 pesos to win 5,000 Ghana cedis. Where your jackpot mohene into the wohene. Deposit via Betway top up at any Momo vendor near you. Top up is free of any charges. For more details, visit betway.com.gh. Betway, for the love of the game. 0549-986-996. 0549-986-996. That's the text WhatsApp line and Telegram as well. Get to us. Let's get talking. Is in the studio. Daniel Cransing is here. Nathan Kwa is here. Evans Ofochu Manso Pichichi is here as well. Coach Christopher Nimley is here. Rabbi
ni aba no mo agbenegbe o han mi kai boton yi ni aba na no love yo e charge fu ni yen
ni aba olake nutumo hu rules
e ko chengbe no bako aka ni aba no mo
ni aba usher us into this wonderful program.
Yo wa wokan wo ba lo wo ba no ke shidajo no meno so anima so anama so wakogbele ya che o manche yeli aba yo wa program ne anokwale so ayo ye bia ni bo nye wo he olake anokwale ne te ye he ko fe yo wa e ba jipo ye mi jele e ba jipo ni ekpo jemi Ghana bi ba na ijole ani ale no ye je aha me ko 100,000 lo aha me yo wa bele mo ingbe no na anokwale. Oh, you was about. No, Holy Spirit, the unction of the Holy Spirit descend on your program this evening. Aka Manchester derby. Oh, mo wa war Carlos Casemiro. Efia ekpo le dumujalami. Le ji patch apache. E ba tu apa. No na anya fe no ni Casemiro fio. You are wale wo. Oh, ena bu fa no bu yo wa le ba sha bo abu wo chi wo ke yo gbele mi wo ba sha
Oh, portable. What kind of yale nakano? Portable yale nakano. Ebeko ya. Chelsea no ebakochi. Yowa mano miawo. Yowa mano miawo. Yowa nyeno namono. Portable. Ebeko ya. Legit. The topmost coach in the history of Chelsea. Eya ikweko. Tineno ekoto. Nyemo here. Kashinano. Amen.
Amen. Charlie, I hear some Toli today. Hey, Charlie, my people they feel make up things. So they say Charlie Casemiro was watching Brentford.
Yeah,
they were scoring in the
Man United. Yeah.
Then he texted his agent and said, "You know what? Tell them that I'll solve this problem." Hey, I know. Charlie, let's not do so.
Such lies.
Charlie, let's not do this. Why are we doing this, coach?
Oh, no more.
They said he was watching the game. I said,
wait, text me.
Charlie, see, catch me. Said, just get me there. Ejumani Yeri.
If you look at those who are doing the job at the time, Tomini. Look, Dominic Fred.
You know, I watched. There was a particular game I was watching. Right? One of these recent games where Casemiro was subbed, right? And Scott McTominay was introduced. But like after like 2 minutes, you could just tell the difference. And it was like, hey, difference. Hey, even in midweek, in the Carabao Cup quarterfinals. So McTominay and Fred started. Mm-hmm.
The moment Casemiro came into the game, you could see the vast difference in the passing quality. Look at the 2 goals, the second and the third goal. They were all Casemiro's doing. You know, 60 yards, carpet pass, straight to Palestri, the master of Babaraman. Oh no, you were in Qatar.
Oh, I was there.
Didn't you see that boy?
I saw this live.
He
played on the right wing against Uruguay.
No more AJJ Baba Rough.
It was not pretty.
It wasn't pretty at all.
When I saw Pelistri, I was sitting with Patrick Akoto and Benedict, and I asked them, isn't that the Man United boy who has been given out on loan? I'm like, when they were like, yes. I'm like, hey, and Uruguay is starting him in a game against Ghana. I'm like, oh, the guy is good. Nathan, 5 minutes. The roster has started 5 minutes. In the first 5 minutes, we could have considered. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, we saw that game.
In and out, lay the ball. It's okay. We'll get to that.
It wasn't easy at all.
Let's get into the Manchester derby itself proper. The season is shaping up really interestingly. United have been on a streak, actually, a very good streak as things stand now. Nathan, is there a case to be made for United winning this? Remember, this game is at Old Trafford. Marcus Rashford is in the form of his life.
Well, between October and now, when did they play? Was it October? They played in October. I think it was in October. And now, a lot of things have changed about Man United. And you look at where they were then and how they've evolved. Ronaldo episode is gone. You know, Casemiro played the second half of that game. By the time he came on, a lot of damage had been done. And even that, he struggled to understand what was happening. And if you look at United as a team, they have improved. They have improved tremendously. And they won't have to show. My worry is what kind of... How Ten Hag shape the team, right? Mm-hmm. What instructions will he give them? Because, you know, he might look back at the 6-3 and say, you know, we can't let this happen. So let's go and attack Man City. And I don't think that would make a lot of sense. I think if United go gung-ho or they try something silly, it will not work. Because whatever it is, it doesn't matter the form Man City are in, they are a very dangerous team. And they are looking for a way to respond. And the Manchester derby provides them with that perfect opportunity to remind everybody that they are still a very, very good team. So I expect Erik ten Hag to look back and maybe take a leaf from what other teams have done. Everton, Southampton in midweek. If you have to stay solid to play on the break, do it. Because the last thing you want is to build this team to this point and then let them go and lose horribly. You almost undo all your work, and then you start to, there are doubts that are cast over your team, and you have to rebuild again. So he has to try and get this team through this game, get them a very, very good result, because United should not forget, Spurs are playing Arsenal in the North London derby. Liverpool have a game at Brighton. It is not the easiest weekend, but the point is, if United get all 3 points or they walk away from that game unscathed, then they can look at what Spurs will do and at what Liverpool will do and try and put the pressure on those two teams. So I expect a very interesting game. I expect Man United to believe, even though I don't expect them to try and go after City, I still expect them to believe that they can get something from this game. Everything they have done in the last 2 months has built up to this point where you now have to remind everybody that we are on our way up. And if you get a good result from this, it kind of galvanizes the team. It tells them that, wow, we are really working hard. We are really doing something good. So let's build on that and move on. But it will be fascinating. Like I said, in that game at the Etihad, Casemiro was a mess. He really couldn't understand what was happening. Now he gets the opportunity. He has understood this league far better than when he came in. And now he has an opportunity to help Manchester United. Marcus Rashford is in the form of his life. He has scored winners against Man City. Yeah. He understands the value of the game. And I expect him to come through. I don't know the kind of state Anthony Martial is in. I thought I heard the manager saying that he had a bit of a niggle, but I don't know. Tomorrow. I don't know. And we've seen him play very well against Man City in years past. Remember, in the 6-3, he scored 2 of the 3. So he seems to have an understanding as to what to do against Manchester City. But it will be fun. On the flip side, though, I look at Man City in the last few weeks, and there's something that is slightly off about the team. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's an over-reliance on Haaland, but what jumps out at me is this apparent lack of width when they play. They look narrow. You are not getting a lot of benefit from the fullbacks. Cancelo is not really picked form after the World Cup, and so I don't know if this is the game, or I don't know what exactly is going on. But the City look like they don't have enough width. Now, the players who can give them the proper width, Riyad Mahrez on one hand, even though he goes in narrow, it would require that a fullback provides the extra width. And Phil Foden. But strangely, those two in the last few weeks have not been getting enough minutes to play consistently so they can cause a problem. But I get the sense that the manager or Pep Guardiola might consider Riyad Mahrez to see what he can get out of Luke Shaw, because I'm sure Luke Shaw will start at left back. I don't think...
What's going on with Malacia? Just quick thoughts on that before I go to...
I think Malacia is still learning this. I think...
they threw him in quickly when he came.
Yeah, he played in the derby. He was cornered and he was absolutely destroyed by Man City's 2-on-1 that day. I don't expect Erik ten Hag to throw him back in. I think Luke Shaw will get to start at left back in that game. But it will be fun. Like I said, for United, this is a test to see, okay, between October and now, how much have they improved? Yeah. Where are they going? Are they on the right path? It may be 1 game out of 38, but if you're a team in a rebuild, you test yourself, you test the level of work you've done against such opposition, and then you decide whether or not, you see whether you are improving or not, and then you see what happens next in your development. So it will be fun, it will be good. Man United will feel confident. They haven't felt confident in a while, especially playing a big team, but the teams that have come to Old Trafford of high repute have all fallen. Arsenal got beaten, Liverpool got beaten, Spurs got beaten. So I'm sure Man United would want to get one over Man City just to keep the confidence going, 1, but 2, pump some extra life into this hunt for top 4, because 3 more points, and looking at Brighton v Liverpool and Spurs v Arsenal, if those results go their way and United get what they feel they can get against Man City, already a gap starts to appear between themselves and who's behind them, and then they can build up from there.
It looks like we are set for a good game. Coach.
Kashebe shimi kebuyo au Casemiro kakwekwe.
Are you hanging your hopes in a game on Casemiro?
No.
Are you hanging your hopes on Casemiro?
You see, when we're going to play Arsenal, I gave you the term Igba Igbu. Igbu Igba. Tomorrow, Igba Igbu Igbu Igba. Man City, I'm AJ me. Look, I sit here today and I accept that Pep Guardiola has been in his job for 7 years. The Ten Hag man, say Ten Hag, say Hag, say Hag. The Lord is my Baba. Originality, the Lord is my Baba. He's been in the job for only 6 months, even less than 6 months. So United is not at the level of Man City. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to prove to anybody. And that is what makes Man United very, very dangerous tomorrow.
You mean nothing to lose?
Nothing to lose. Nothing to prove to anybody. If United goes into tomorrow's game and get beat, that is not a news. Nobody's going to take that as a deal. But after all, they've been beaten by the best team in the land. So be it. But I see that even if they were to get beat tomorrow, I don't expect them to lose 6-3. That surely will not repeat itself. But having said that, no more. David De Gea, Dalu, Luke Shaw, Varane.
You'd play Dalo over one big.
Yes, if Dalo is fit, he plays. Luke Shaw, Varane, The Butcher, Carlos Casemiro. Carlos Casemiro, 3-in-1 player. Wow.
Hold on.
3-in-1 player.
Hold on. Now to break down this 3-in-1, what is in this 3-in-1?
Oh,
tell us.
He does the job of Eriksen, Bruno defensively and his own job, and he tells them go on the attack. Carlos Casemiro.
You mean just like he told his agent
that quick, I'll fix the problem.
You see what is happening at United?
Yes,
I'll fix it.
Tell them that I'll fix the problem
one time.
But Ben, look on a look, when I look at Casemiro objectively, I get amazed.
No more.
Maybe because Man United have not had a player like that in how many years?
Right. Nothing he's doing shocks me.
Exactly.
Nothing. I mean, I've watched him for like 9-10 years.
Exactly.
Nothing he's doing shocks me.
No, I think my surprise is because
you have suffered for long.
Yeah, so
you can't believe that it is you that is watching the quality.
When I watch some of the decisions, look, not even the passing, very simple decisions like positioning. So the team is breaking up Man United, and just the ability to just spot that, okay, if I'm here, it solves a problem. Then he stands here, there is blocks, and to think that United have been dealing with Scott Jesus Christ, Scott McTominay.
No more.
Is it 3-in-1?
Carlos Casemiro.
Oh, Charlie.
In that first leg, do you know the player who had a very horrible day?
Tell us about it.
That was Christian Eriksen.
Yes.
It will not happen tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow it will not repeat itself. Because now, in that first game, it was he and McTominay. Clueless Tomini. Absolutely clueless. Tomini clueless. How do you say clueless in French? Clueless.
Don't do this.
Clueless Tomini.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
He was lost.
Clueless Tomini. He doesn't have positional awareness. Like Nathan is saying. He doesn't read the game better. So he virtually just go and look back at the first two goals. The manner in which Man City just went through the Man United midfield. Tomorrow, that will not happen. So Eriksen now will get on the ball and begin to look. We know Eriksen. He's brave. He will take them out. Bruno Awareness Fernandes. We've all seen the form from the World Cup. Silky, absolutely bombastic.
But people say he's not scoring a lot.
He shouldn't score. He should supply. Rashford need to hold me out. Then after this three, oh no more. Anthony.
One goal out of every 5 games or 6 games.
As a winger, I'm telling you honestly, tomorrow the real Anthony will come to the party. Have you seen his 2 goals of late? The midweek, you see that sublime. No more. That is what 85 million buys you.
But he doesn't have a right foot.
We don't need a right. Wait, left and hour.
You won't do that against world-class goalkeepers and defenses.
Oh, no more.
He scored a similar
goal against the man at the Etihad. Have you forgotten? Then the Prime Minister himself.
Who's the Prime Minister?
The doctor.
The doc.
Who is this?
No more dog. Dr. Marcus Rashford. MBE. No more. Is in the form of his life. Do you know why I'm happy?
Tell us.
I'm happy because of Anthony Martial. He's always been ready for Man City.
He starts.
Who starts?
Elanga.
No,
Sorry, Ilanga.
Zukubanza, Elanga. Zukubanza.
Oh, Charlie.
Kaye. One trade team in Elanga. Ever to come and tell low, buy a low.
Don't do.
He has to go for low.
Player na chiobo pass. Open space. Yeah, very more ball.
Give Elanga enough time to build rhythm.
To stop that. Look,
Stop that thing, my brother. Ilanga to Liverpool.
Kobe Menu me fiolele Elanga yakweje. Look, so tomorrow Antonio Marcia. United, yes, I agree with Nathan. We have to be very cautious, but they have to be very brave. When they win that ball, they should believe that in Casemiro, in Eriksen, in Bruno Fernandes, they can pass through the press of Man City. We saw them against Southampton. We saw them against Newcastle. They should have to pass through the press.
Pass through the press.
Fernandes, you have to be aware of the situation. Awareness at its topmost level. Papa, no atomy, no a movie. One time. A movie. You mean, Papa. A movie can you hear? No. Oh yeah, Kevin Jelle, quick. You see, you don't get Pep Guardiola talk about you when you are not in front of him.
Yeah.
But we got him to talk about Ten Hag when he was not time for him to talk.
Yeah.
He should go and think about all the ridiculous tactics and present them tomorrow. Yeah. The original ball-headed Sir Ten Hag will deal with that. You listen to Ten Hag today, say, look, I accept we're given a baptism of fire. We accept it. He's been here for 7 years. I've been here for less than 6 months. He knows me, I know him very well. Yeah. But tomorrow is going to be a different ball game. And there are over 78,000 supporters of Old Trafford will make the theater of dreams tomorrow. And look, extremely electrified.
Hey, are you the one striking tomorrow?
I don't even know what is going on.
Are you the one striking tomorrow?
Also,
no, relax. Are you the one playing on the wings?
If Clancy and Nathan will remember, there was a day we're going to play Man City.
Which game was this?
The 2-0 at Etihad.
Yes.
The one Shaw scored the second. I remember.
And they were all jittery. And I said, I'm simple. I don't know where the feeling is coming from. I don't know where the belief is coming from. But that is it. It's there.
And it's clear.
It's very clear, clean, quick. It's running through me. Through me.
Energy.
Look, this Man City team is beatable in Ketia. They can be beaten. They're not invincible at all. Yes, like I've said, they start the game tomorrow as favorite because they've had a manager who's been with them for years. They understand his language better, his identity, his philosophy, what they should be doing. The movement of the ball movement at times has been absolutely breathtaking. When you see, hey, tell me have your name.
Absolutely what?
Breathtaking. That is the way it has been like.
Yeah.
But one thing that is sure again, and I'm sure Pep Guardiola has admitted, this is the best Man United setup he's played against since he came to England. He knows. And they Pogba many benachi ball be dabi dominate. Fred me. Me cry. The game will be different tomorrow. We want to see Kyle Walker. Put Cancelo inside. Come and follow me.
Cancelo won't play Wasan.
But Cancelo,
Nico Lewis is the future.
They should bring the Nico Lewis, but we'll give him baptism of fire.
You mean whoever?
No, come on. Rodri, you see, Gundogan is trying to blast them to get them pumped.
Wrap it up and let me talk about Arsenal.
They should go to the Vognizer and inflate themselves. Come on. Man City will make the league interesting. Don't you want it to be interesting?
Oh, I want the league
because tomorrow they will lose and Tottenham will beat Arsenal tomorrow.
On Sunday.
That will be interesting for the title race.
I've always said something. This league is the most competitive. It cannot be won like that by December, January, Nagbina. How? It is not part of the script.
Let me talk to Pichichi.
No more.
Pichichi.
Well, interestingly, I'm flanked by
Manchester United fans.
It's
Three versus
it's
one.
an invasion.
Yeah. But Ben, I've made this careful observation about Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. You know, when he loses a game, there's a clear pattern. He hardly stays defeated for long. Now, look at the last 5 times that he's lost a game and how he bounces back as quick as possible.
Tell us.
Now, in the year 2012, he lost to Liverpool in the league. And there was a quick...
2012?
2022. There was a quick win in the next game against Brighton. When he lost to that's Real Madrid in the Champions League, he bounced back quickly against Newcastle United with a 5-0 win. He lost again to Liverpool, and then quickly he beat West Ham in his next game by 2-0. He lost again to Liverpool, and quickly there was a win over Brighton. So it tells you that he's one manager that just before he plays you, when he loses a game, expect him to come all guns blazing.
Yep.
And it's a pattern he's created all along his coaching career. And that's one of the biggest fear I have for Manchester United. And I think I agree with them when they say that they think City are favourite. Yes, City are favourite. Coach alluded to the fact that they can lose, but he expects the United team to put out a fight. And we all agree that this game against Manchester City will be the biggest for Erik ten Hag. Why? Looking at the point gap, looking at the point gap between Arsenal and City, Pep has so much pressure on him now, because this could be the turning point for him. He would not love to go 8 points behind Arsenal again. So this is a game that he has to get his players to play the finest football ever. And one thing that's always done is just convince them that it's the Manchester derby. It's against a team that they live close by. Would they want to see their red, noisy neighbors all week in their ears? And I think that
there's a banner they bring to the stadium. The stadium now. They say the city is ours.
The Manchester United fans. And so it will be a game where I think Pep will find it quite easy to convince his boys to play their all out. Looking at how the season has gone for them, the point gap between themselves and Arsenal, to just losing against Southampton in the Carabao Cup before playing Manchester United, he would not love to go 2 games with back-to-back defeats and then give Arsenal the advantage here. And so, yes, I like the sort of vim that Coach Nimley has with all the Casemiro, Dr. Rashford, and all that. But I think United fans must know this. There's that pattern for Pep Guardiola. He quickly bounces back.
You see, just before he continued, there's a pattern. No?
He quickly
in that pattern, there's no United there.
He quickly bounces back. So I'm expecting Pep Guardiola to bounce back ASAP and then get a win tomorrow.
Okay.
Daniel, final thoughts, then we'll move it on to the North London derby.
Me, that's where my interest is.
The NLD.
Oh yeah, because in fact that you can kick it off from there. I think everything here has been exhausted.
Oh yeah, it has been. The thing is, the red side of Manchester, they will not win the league. The blue side of Manchester have an opportunity to win the league. The red side of Manchester, by all means, the top 4 will qualify. So why don't you give the 3 points to your brothers? So that they can go and catch the people in London. Then 2 weeks from now, you help your brothers by beating the people in London. My own is, I've already called Ten Hag and I've told him, if you are beating Man City tomorrow, then make sure that next 2 weeks when you visit the Emirates, you
will beat them.
But you see, Ingetia, with the North London derby, I'll have to wait to give my prediction after the Man United game. Look, I bet you, if Man United beats Man City, whether Tottenham Hotspur go and hire prime Ronaldo, prime Messi, prime Zidane, but Arsenal beat them.
Hey, Charlie.
Once there's an opportunity for Arsenal to go 8 points clear, Sunday at 4:30, I don't care whether they are playing at the new White Hart Lane Stadium. Look, the sort of character we've seen Arsenal show this season, it's been the character of champions. Oh, yes. If you remember, on 31st, the last match day of the year,
Brighton v Arsenal.
When Man City went we were at home against Everton and they drew that game.
and Arsenal heard the result just before they faced Brighton. That game on paper was supposed to be a very difficult game. But you could see right from the blast of the whistle, you could tell that the Arsenal players knew that this was a prime opportunity for them to stretch the gap. And from the blast of the whistle, look, they were unplayable. And we hardly see Brighton shaking like that at home against the big teams. It really doesn't happen often. They always give the big teams troubles when they go to the Amex. But this time, it just wasn't like that. Arsenal really ran riot that day. And we've seen this Arsenal time and time again this season. In games where you think they'll go and strike. Even when they drop points against Newcastle. I don't think I've seen Newcastle being put on the back foot like what we saw a couple of weeks ago. And for me, frankly, it was a Nick Pope masterclass. Because Arsenal should have, especially in that second half, Arsenal should have scored. The thing is, this Arsenal team is not just about tactics. They've been brilliant tactically. But they are showing a belief that is scary.
Yeah.
If you don't back them, if you are against them, that is where your fear needs to stem from. The fact that they are playing with some confidence and some belief that you don't know where it's coming from. And you see, there are so many things that
also missing out on the Champions League by the margin in which they missed out on last
What strikes me about this team is, look, usually when these sort of quote-unquote tragedies happen and the team doesn't have character, you could easily crumble. And I was looking at the makeup of this Arsenal team. From their manager, look, there's a clear lack of experience in this Arsenal team in terms of player profile and where they've been to, how far they've gone in their careers. But for them to come out this season with the belief, and see, they started the season doing their part, or just winning game by game. And then all of a sudden, getting to the World Cup, they realize they're on top, there's a chance. They come back from World Cup, they continue. Now they've entered the new year, they are on top of the league. And they are winning games, as I said, they are winning games that they are, under normal circumstances, they are not supposed to win or they are supposed to struggle to win. They are winning them quite easily. Even when they are pegged back. Look at that West Ham game. When they were pegged back against a David Moyes team, you expect West Ham to come back and be defensive in that second half and at least be able to hold Arsenal. Arsenal were fantastic. And they played with such freedom that you were watching the game like, what is going on? It was almost like...
They'll be tested in the coming weeks, though. They will
be tested.
They have some very crazy games coming.
Tough games. They have Tottenham, of course, on Sunday, and then Man United in the next couple of weeks. But you see, I'm saying that if Man City beats Man United, I feel that will help Tottenham Hotspur's cause a bit in that game. If Arsenal look at that game, if there is 4:30 on Sunday, and Arsenal know that Manchester City were beaten or Manchester City drop points against Man United and it is another opportunity for them. You see, and let's be honest, Spurs are not on form. So Spurs are actually going to have to play above themselves in recent weeks. You see, that's
this very funny first halves they have.
Yes, look, it's very difficult for you to be able to rise to the occasion in games like this because it usually depends on how you start. When you are not on form and you are playing a big game like this, especially at home, you expect to start very well for the crowd to get behind you and then build your performance from then. But if you compare how Arsenal starts games and how Tottenham Hotspur starts games, the likelihood of Arsenal starting the better team is higher. And if that happens on the back of the possible Manchester City loss, look, they can go and hire the Brazil team of 1970. They can go and take Pep Guardiola's 2011 winning team. See, no matter where they pass, Arsenal will beat them. That's just how I see it. So for Tottenham Hotspur, they need to pray for a Manchester City win on Saturday because psychologically that will play on the minds of the Arsenal players.
Yeah. It reminds me of in 2013. Then I don't know if you remember when United were on their way to winning the league. Man City lost away at Spurs. Now, originally, Sir Alex Ferguson had planned to field a weakened team against Everton. And then as soon as that result came, he changed his mind, played a strong team. United won 2-0. And then they eventually went on to win the league. So I completely agree with Daniel that the result of the Manchester derby can either help or hinder Spurs. And if Man City do win, then Charlie, Arsenal will have to respond. And Spurs, they will not enjoy playing Arsenal in the form they're in. There are talks about Arsenal's mentality. In all of this, I pick out one player, Bukayo Saka. I think that the episode in the Euros, missing a penalty, everything he went through, for him, when I look at him play, he looks like a player, even though he doesn't overtly show it, but I get the sense he's playing to prove a point to people that I am actually this good and I deserve to be here and I can't succeed at this level. And I get the sense he personally is using the Euros as a big motivation to drive his own personal performance, and then that feeds into Arsenal's whole thing, a team of missing out on the top 4, and they are trying to get back. They have been brilliant. They have been brilliant to watch this season, especially from a mental perspective. It's lovely just watching them fight and push and take themselves to the very top. And I tell Arsenal fans that some Arsenal fans say, oh, they don't want to be pressured. I tell them, you are not under pressure to win the league. The pressure is on Man City. And for as long as it stays like this, Arsenal will win the league. For as long as Arsenal... Arsenal shouldn't be afraid of being in this position. I think they should enjoy being in this position. And once they are in this position with Man City chasing, all Arsenal need to do is just keep winning their games and they'll be fine.
Okay, just a quick one. I think whether they like it or not, the pressure of winning the Premier League is beginning to build.
I don't think so.
And that is Arsenal. They are Arsenal. You can't be on top of the league and tell me you are not pressured.
That's pressure. Arsenal.
If it was Leicester City, fine.
Take it or leave it. That pressure is there. And we saw glimpses of that.
They've been dodging it the whole... You know, my new favorite thing to do, when I meet Arsenal fans, I tell them, will you win the league? I ask them, will you win the league? Say, then they do this thing where Ghanaian coaches do. We are taking it one game at a time.
I personally think they need to be
will you win the league?
Yes or no?
Answer the question over there. Will you win the league?
My point is this. Between the two teams, the pressure is on Man City to defend their title.
Yeah, you see, I think it would have been better the other way around. City leading and they doing the chase. Okay, nobody expect them to win. So when they are rather doing the chasing and get going down at the last and overtake and then win, that would have been easier for them than what is actually happening. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because I don't think this team has got the experience required to handle the nerves. Not even with the manager. You can already see the way he's behaving on the touchline. His behavior on the touchline when things are not going his way, it's not anything.
Like in that Southampton game?
Like in that Newcastle, not
Southampton, yeah.
But you see...
No, but those could be mind games though.
No!
Put pressure on officials during certain games.
It is getting to him.
Force them to make decisions for you in other games.
It is getting to him. He needed to win that game to restore his 8-point gap. Yeah. He couldn't do it. And if you really look at the way the game went, actually, there were moments in the game where they felt that they were not playing their game. And Newcastle had done so well in keeping them at bay and therefore more or less nullifying all their attacking threat. And it became very normal. I've never seen them this normal. Very normal, like any other team. And I think that it will come to that. Look, they will convince me whether they win the league or not. In the games, the 2 games they have to play against Man City.
That game will be cracked.
One of them should have been played already, but that game has been what? Yeah. It's still hanging somewhere as an outstanding game for the 2 of them. And then they'll convince me whether they win the league or not if they go to Anfield. And they'll convince me whether they win the league or not against Manchester United.
So that Manchester City game is
against Man United.
So they have
Emirates.
So hold on. So they have Tottenham on Sunday. Then they have United the following week. Then they have Manchester City in the FA Cup. Then they have Everton at Goodison, Brentford at the Etihad at the Emirates. Then they host Manchester City.
That's when
they host Manchester City on the 15th of February.
So from now to the 15th, these are the games. See, these games will tell us where they are. I still believe they are a player or 2 short.
Mudryk is coming.
These are, you see, when I say they are a player or 2 short, I think.
But it's almost agreed.
Look,
it will happen at this point.
I think
it will happen at this point.
I think they still need a replacement for Thomas Partey. It would be a miracle.
Backup, you mean?
Yeah, I mean backup. Okay. Sorry, it would be a miracle to get him to play
a full season without getting injured again.
And I'll be so happy. Look, I'll be so happy if that were to happen, where he can go the entire season without any injury.
That would be the Atletico Party back again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So therefore, they are a striker short. It's in Nketiah. He's firing all cylinders. He's in Nketiah. He's firing. But there'll be, you see, it is like the burden of this team is being put on the shoulders of inexperienced players. And I think that is what it will come down to. It will come down to that.
You think Odegaard can't shoulder this? You think Partey can't shoulder this?
Partey is experienced. In that team is Partey, is Xhaka. Who else?
So those two.
That's it.
Okay, maybe Gabi Jesus.
Maybe Jesus, of course. He's won it before.
Yes. And Zinchenko.
When you need it, doesn't mean you are.
No, but if you've won it, you know what it feels like.
Look, at the new White Hart Lane
inspire more confidence on the team.
I want to see what Antonio Conte would do.
We are losing. I'm looking at Zinchenko's face.
Conte said that if United were to beat Man City tomorrow,
it's a problem for Spurs.
Arsenal by all means will beat Spurs. I don't think that will happen.
Yeah, because we've seen Spurs start games strangely where the first half is always bad. Yes. They've been doing this very consistently. Don't you think Arsenal can hurt them badly?
You see,
they won't recover.
It is the North London derby. Gone are the days where this derby was almost an Arsenal thing. I think
Arsenal haven't won at Spurs in a while.
Yes, as a gone so and they are going back to Spurs, and I expect that Spurs will put up a very good fight and make sure that they make it a competitive game. And look, believe you me, truth be told, I still don't think Arsenal will win the league. They still have some convincing to do.
Interesting. Arsenal fans will not be happy, but like I say, when I see them every time, I ask, will you win the league?
They themselves, they are not sure.
Then right now it has become all kinds of announcing stories. We'll take it one game at a time, and we are not saying
who's taking it 2 games at a time.
Tell me. You know what? Let's get into the Chelsea camp, and it's a good time to get into transfers as well. Joao Felix had his Premier League debut yesterday. First Chelsea player ever to get sent off on his Premier League debut. Let's do some buying and selling of players.
Don Dawoso is Don't Call Me Time. One place, Mace, for sale, 120 cheap. Don't call me, oh, don't call me. We dey loan this player $1,000. Don't call me, oh, don't call me. For the striker we can consider. Don't call me, oh, don't call me. No, they see you use Tina Boka. Don't call me, oh. So ghosts are sunset tourists. Now on time shape goes a place of ghosts. Now on one yard drinks at TVs. And then your coach can come at home. Don Dawoso. Don't call me, oh, don't call me. Let's go. It's Don't Call Me Time. Don't call me, oh, don't call me. It's Don't Call Me Time. Don't call me, oh, don't call me. Catch that. Tina Boka. Don't call me, oh, don't call me. Catch that. It's Don't Call Me Time.
Medase. Joao Felix was feeling all good about himself yesterday, you know. Thrown right into the action. 11 million pound loan deal for 6 months. Euros, right?
Yeah, 11 million euros.
For 6 months. Looked like the brightest spot for Chelsea on the day. And then boom. Red card. Sent off for his over exuberance.
You see, there are times when you are not meant to be somewhere. If you find yourself there, these are the things that happen.
Oh yes, you have reminded me.
You see,
you were here the week. Somebody says I should tell you that.
You said Joao Felix was coming somewhere.
Charlie, somebody says I should tell you that I should ban the phrase from the show.
Which phrase?
Who is it again?
You see, when I talk, they don't listen. What did I say? What did I say?
They say right now. I said it is a jinx. No. If you say the player won't come.
I said that. United will not pay more than 5 million for any loan player. If it's about the 5 million they will take, the voices are they go and play it. When I talk, listen, look, we are here because of you people. So listen.
You said Joao Felix is your player. Yes. That's what you said. You said Joao Felix is not going to Chelsea. Is your player.
You see, that's what I started by. If you are not supposed to be somewhere
and you are there,
what happened will quadruple itself. There will be more red cards.
He's already missing 3 games.
Yeah. He comes back.
This is already a short loan spell.
By the time he comes back, there will be 16th in the league. Oh no!
You know, on the Premier League TV show today, we're asking who was to blame for Chelsea's problems, Potter or the players.
Oh, Panorama and the players.
No, we're
I'm
asking.
even coming there. Let me just wrap up Joao Felix.
Yes, so
what kind of signing you think he will be? I mean, red card aside.
He's a good player. And we all saw that yesterday by far he was the best player on the pitch until that red card came. His movement, his touches, his reading of the game, his interpositional passes and all that.
But he's not scored as much as everybody thought he would.
No. You see, he's not a goal scorer. He's more like an assister. But if you have Havertz, you saw Havertz yesterday.
Charlie.
Zukubanza nega.
You see, he's not Zukuban. That's my problem.
He's not Zukuban.
See, no, let me land.
You want to defend
Havertz is no. See, Havertz is not supposed to be burdened with the goal scoring responsibility of the team. It is like you're going to pick a number 10, a half 9, and you've placed him at number 10. What Tuchel did was supposed to be a makeshift thing. What Tuchel was doing was supposed to be a makeshift thing.
Waiting for Aubameyang to come.
What is Aubameyang?
But then
Aubameyang comes.
See, Potter is playing Aubameyang at number 9. The guy is lasting 70 minutes, and in the 70 minutes, Chelsea has not completed one through ball. You are not playing according to the player's strengths. When you finish, then you come and sit in the break and tell us that the player is no good. You are they are not good. It's exactly himself.
But hold on, though. But you and I can also agree that Havertz, at least by the standards he set for himself at his previous club, at least be able to get 10 goals for his club. At least 10 goals a season.
But you see, you have to play with some teammates. Where's the support coming from? Let's look at the Chelsea team. Let's look at the Chelsea team. Any striker will not get it right at Chelsea at this moment. Yes.
You see,
any top striker
I
will struggle
brought
at
up
the
the
moment.
issue of Zukubanza nega Havertz. Do you know why I said that?
Please
it's not he not putting the balls in the back of the net. Look at even the game, his play.
I'm surprised they are talking
what he was noted for. He can't even pass the ball forward. Yesterday he saw that counter attack where Joao Felix and then Mason Mount. Havertz, what the ball onto your left foot? Oh, dummy. He controlled the ball to throw. Did you see that? Didn't you see that? Oh, Cranton, you wait.
I've seen enough of these scenarios. It's like
that was
watching. Look, the coaching is bad.
I'm coming to the coaching.
When the coaching is bad, even your best players.
Hold on. But you know that Havertz was not flourishing under Tuchel as well.
I've always said something. I've always said
he wasn't flourishing under Tuchel as well.
If you cannot break and pass, it has got nothing to do with coaching.
Hold on. Let me ask Chelsea fans. Let me ask Chelsea fans. Has there actually been a point where Havertz has hit like the heights where you believe this player was?
They say he scored the Champions League goal.
Since you bought him, has he actually hit the heights you expected when he was coming from Liverpool?
So
that's a question to Chelsea fans.
As for the Joao Felix buy, it's a good player.
It's a good one.
I will not.
But let's just get into the Potter issues before we get into other Chelsea transfers.
Ashwele. Simple, yeah.
Me, if I'm the one in charge, I will sack him. But
after less than 6 months,
I'm saying that is it. The reason why I say if I'm the one in charge, but I'm not the one in charge, am I?
Okay.
So he's there for 5 good years. Good years. So to all the Chelsea supporters, please, team you know Todd Bowley team ni. Yeah, away coach. Me away coach keba. He had a 5 years contract. How many years? 5 good years contract. 5 years old. And the man has been in the job barely less than 4 months. Take the World Cup from inside. Where is he going to? Where is he going? The coaching of the Panorama. This is what Panorama is all about. At Brighton, he wasn't expected to be beating teams. So he could allow the Trossard, the Casado, who are they, to go and express themselves. When they there were times he went Brighton
10 games without
13 games without
13 games without.
So I don't know,
and nobody was saying anything about it.
It is Brighton. It is Brighton,
and that's what people fail to understand.
And now you've come to Chelsea, so that is also look. The Chelsea fan. This is what Panorama. He go at 10 matches, 12, 15, 16 matches without winning. So this is Panorama. I don't know why they are crying. If Chelsea goes 12, 15, 16 games,
currently we are at 1 win in 9. So we are going to get to 15.
Who are they playing next?
See,
I'll
find out for you.
If Chelsea goes 16 games without a win, that's
that is Panorama.
That is the Panorama. If 10 of your players are injured, what do you do?
Can you find out for me how long he went at Brighton without a win? Can you give
his
me that?
first 2 seasons? He won the first 10 games without winning,
and then the next one, like I think like 14 games.
Then to start small.
No, you're talking 14 games the winning game. That is portable. So there's reason why portable is about they are crying.
Then is he? I initially wanted to make a case for Potter.
Graham Potter.
But I believe football is a result-oriented sport. And the result justifies whether you stay or you leave. Every coach knows this. And it's just difficult to defend a coach who has won just one game in his last 9 competitive matches. Yeah. How do you defend this? Just how?
But there are mitigating factors. He has 10 players out
injured.
You
talk about injuries.
So you can't beat Nottingham Forest because you have 10 players out injured. You can't beat Nottingham Forest.
The team itself is in transition.
Who are those players?
The team itself is in transition. Transitions are difficult periods.
Then there is nothing you can do to defend Potter at this moment. See, nothing will work for him. Whether the injuries or the transitions, no. Once the results are not coming in football, every good coach knows that his time is over. Even coach here knows it. That when you are a manager,
one win in 9 matches.
Every coach knows, and I'm surprised that he's still trying to justify what he's doing at Chelsea.
Bogali.
There's no justification.
That was not the name of the character in some advert.
He needs to be
I'm surprised this Charlie, behave yourself over there.
See, my heart they come. See,
relax it, Potter.
No, it's not Potter matter. It is this modern day idea of give him time. He will need time to implement this one. He will need time.
But is that not true?
No, see, let me let you understand something. When you manage top teams, unless you don't consider yourself a top team, that one then I'll stop talking. If you don't consider yourself a top team, that one you feel free.
Is a top team.
But if you are a manager of a top team, yes, you might have done well at Brighton. But you see, what attracts the top teams to hire you is that killer instinct. That ability to win, to grind out results, knowing that winning is the most important thing first. Look at Ten Hag. Man United is not playing Ten Hag's brand of football.
But they are winning.
Not yet.
They are
not
winning.
yet. But he has seen that, look, it is better for me to get results now.
Exactly.
Imbibe confidence in my team. As time goes on, then I'll start building and trying to put my philosophy in it. That is a smart manager.
You have to win.
And you know why Ten Hag can do that? Because Ten Hag has gone through proper experience. He has gone through championships. He has tasted trophy before.
At Ajax, he was expected to win every game.
Yes. He understands that pressure. You've come from Brighton. Okay? And the people who are saying give him time. You've not won anything before. You've come from Brighton. No pressure. Brighton, when you go to Southampton and they beat you 2-0 and you play well, you can go and tell your bosses, we played well. They say, okay, well done. Then you move on to the next game. Brighton, when you go 10 matches without a win and you draw 5, that is 5 points. They say, it is okay. We can build on it. When you come to a top team like Chelsea and you go 2 matches without a win,
pressure don't come. Pressure don't come.
That's what people need to understand. You can't tell me that Chelsea should wait.
Because the money too is good in your pocket. Your salary has quadrupled.
You can't tell me that a top team should wait for a manager. Give him time. So wait.
To settle into his own.
So Chelsea should throw this season and next season away. Waiting for Potter.
I mean, clearly from the signings they are making, they have not given up on the season yet. If you see from the signings they are making,
so that's my point. If you are spending this much money, then it means you expect him to be giving you results. And if he's not giving you results, stop telling us that it will take time.
They say they know they won't qualify for the Champions League. So if they don't buy the players now, they won't buy any players.
This thing, I said it when they hired the Fantastic Four. Arteta, Ole, Lampard, Pello. I said the same Fantastic Four. 4 of them, they belong to serious teams, so they were sacked. The one, he still has a job. And he still has a job because the people who hired him themselves, they were inexperienced. They took a chance on him when nobody expected them to. His boss, Edu, he's just starting to feel the job. So if Edu had sacked Arteta, it would look bad on him himself. So he had to give him the time that he wanted. If Arteta was in any of the other 5 of the top 6 teams, he would have been sacked. And that is a fact. But we've been able to see in how many years? This is what? His 4th season.
What
will happen? If you give somebody
you future striker,
Charlie.
Don't do this. Man, you what? Before you know, Osimhen will play for Chelsea or Arsenal.
I told you last week that
when the Arabs come.
I told you that the club will be sold before April, May. You remember I said it? Yeah. Come on, home club.
Osimhen.
Ten Hag's only striker.
Is it not? Because I'm hearing rumors about Harry Kane.
That be Osimhen.
Let Daniel finish. Daniel, build your point.
What I'm saying is that, guys, you can't underestimate the power of a winner and the importance of a winner. When they sacked, you see, Abramovich is not a fool. Abramovich is not a fool. Let me let you people understand something. This obsession with give them time. How many good examples are there? How many?
But again, hold on. Will you also not agree that this is largely a team built by the Abramovich regime, and this is Tuchel's team?
You see, Bogali,
let me land. He has asked me questions, so let me answer. I'm saying that this Chelsea, the culture of the team under Abramovich since 2003, it has been built on something. Come, give me results. When you stop giving results, I sack you. I bring somebody. It has worked. Name one English team that has won more trophies than Chelsea since Abramovich came. 0. They have been the most successful team. It means that is even the blueprint that others should be following.
Yeah. That is the blueprint of success.
That is the blueprint of modern day success.
Let's get the result.
Get the results. What does Real Madrid do? Have you seen Real Madrid giving somebody time before? Real Madrid give me time. Have you heard some before? Even those who have won, when you don't win the one they want, they sack you.
Even when you win it.
Bayern Munich, have you seen them giving somebody time before? You come, you win, you go. You come, you win, you go. That's how the top teams operate. So if you want to go back, you see, that's all. Then they say you get, Liverpool gave Klopp that. I'll say this thing again. Between 2017, till now, when Klopp came to the Premier League.
Klopp did not come in 2015.
He came in 2015 in Pool. So let's stretch his own in Pool. Yes, from 2015. You Klopp 2015, Premier League 1, Champions League 1, FA Cup 1, Carabao Cup 1, Club World Cup 1, Super Cup 1, 6 trophies.
Yeah.
Chelsea, within that same period, Europa League 1, Premier League 1, FA Cup 1, Super Cup 1, Club World Cup 1. The last one is what? Champions League 1.
Yeah, one Champions League.
Under 5 managers.
No, Chelsea won the Champions League in 20. Okay.
Yeah, they won 2
Okay, so
5 managers. The method is different. The result isn't the same.
It's the same.
It's the same.
But one costs more money.
One costs more money. Has Abramovich come to tell you that?
No, no, not Abramovich.
No.
Not every club can afford the Abramovich method, because not every club has 8 to 10 million pounds to pay as compensation.
Okay.
Every time they need to sack a manager.
Do you know that when you win, when you finish in top 4 positions, it adds to your revenue?
There's that. But there's also
if you are sitting there and you are throwing away this season to finish 16th, throwing away next season to finish 8th, while you are buying players who expect to be finishing in the top 4, you are spending this amount on Joao Felix for loan. You are going to spend how much on? They wanted to bid how much for the Argentine boy? 100 million. Look at the money you are spending. You are spending money expecting to get to a certain point.
Let me add this.
The guy, it will work.
When you say you want time to build, are the others also waiting for you? Next season, Man U also build their team. Citi also build on their team. Liverpool also build on their team. So are you also waiting to build? No, you need to also build and win.
Because you see,
Tuchel.
The dangerous thing about this give me time. This give me time. You are not building out to one season, no. Like the Arsenal fans are saying, hey, Danny, have you seen Arteta is on top of the league? Now you started. Now you have to win the. It's called. You are building for sustained success. So you've used 4 years in the month. After this season, if you win the league, wherever you finish, first, second, that's a success in my opinion. But from next season, you are supposed to be in every title race. That's what you are telling us.
Yep.
He has built them back to a top team in contention. And that's what you are supposed to be doing. So if next season you do come ça, then 2 seasons from there you are not sure. You are still a failure.
Well understood.
There's no defense for
only
Potter.
Simple solution is this. Keep him in the job for 5 years.
I agree.
The duration of his contract.
No, I agree. That's what I'm telling that. A man has been hired. Give the man time to do it. Like I'm telling him, it's a new era.
No,
it's a new dispensation.
The Abramovich era is finished.
Let him adjust. To bring his results.
No, this and here. The boss has shown
you. Won't bring
Abramovich has shown all of us how to run. You come from America. You come from America. You come to teach us.
Let's talk about
Potter has no results.
Let's talk about Wout Weghorst. The word is that he's on a flight to Manchester.
My striker.
The loan from Besiktas. Daniel, quick thoughts on that.
1.5 striker.
What does that do for United? What does that solve for United?
Oh, it's another option, and it's a different option.
For the
option I have been crying for since the exit of Marouane Fellaini. We need it. It's not every day pass. It's not every day pass.
Argentina versus Netherlands.
Hit it inside. And you see, he's not just that standing striker who hit it, but the link-up play too is there.
Good feet, actually.
You can bounce the ball off him. So he's a sort of player that the Rashfords and the Martials will like. When you are chasing a game, if the long ball is not working, you do you hold it up, take 2-3 defenders, lay back, 1-2-1-2, back a dim.
2.5. Don't go me. And we'll play the don't go me at 2.5.
2 Sunset Tourists. No one can shake
One ton no shady high.
You don't say. You mean 121?
No shady high.
Oh, please.
What's telling you if you Vegas. On there.
121?
No. One shady high.
Hold on again. Hold on.
Turn low. No one shady high.
Hold on.
2.5. What can we play more than 5 million?
Play it for me, Nathan. Play it for me. Why is that thing not playing?
They don't display
Vegas coach, just quick thoughts on having somebody like 6'5" or 6'6".
Yeah, 6'6" is a huge big guy. Like Cranton said, another variation. Something that United have never had since the exit of Marouane Fellaini. But he's a better footballer as compared to Fellaini. When the boy is on the turf, he's there. He scores goals. People are saying he was a flop at Burnley. It's about the players in and around him.
Sure.
Who is he going to be playing with?
Rashford,
Carlos Casemiro, Bruno Awareness Fernandes,
Elanga.
Anthony Dos Santos. Players, Papa. People who will just tell the butcher under pressure, diagonal, long one measured. Tailored measured. Abasusule. Ka lobby no ne kudro mi no ne do fijam de passage. Atina. Akashra obawo shraw. Atina kasa. No, it's a don't come in song.
It's a don't come in?
Don't come in. Turn high. You mean break no one turn high.
As I say, one turn cheap. Don't come me. They don't display. It's a good player.
Yeah, and I think he will help the team.
Interesting signing by Wolves. Pablo Sarabia.
Yeah.
PSG to Wolves. Former Real Madrid academy product.
They sign all the... Wolves, they are not serious.
But they have a new manager now.
They need a goal scorer.
They have a new manager now.
That's what they need. Look at the creative players around the team. They are plenty. Plenty. They bought Mateus Nunes at the start of the season. They have Guedes. They have Pudence. You've come to add Sarabia. You have Fadama the Beast. You have everybody. But you don't have a goal scorer. You dance around the box and they can't score.
Since the injury too, he can't head the ball again.
Diego Stato is not playing anything.
No more.
Diego, you were expecting something from Diego?
Let's talk about the CHAN real quick before we sign out here. Ghana's group has become very interesting. Morocco have pulled out of the competition. Nathan, just quick thoughts on that.
I think they're back.
What's the latest on that situation?
Well, the last time I checked, this was a few hours ago, the Moroccan players, I saw pictures of them at an airport hoping to catch a flight to Algeria to play. And we need to find out. CAF still hasn't said anything. I think they are hoping against hope that it will happen. Some reports say they are still playing. We'll find out over the weekend whether or not they will play. But for a bit of context, people are wondering what is going. Why are they not going to play? Well, Morocco and Algeria since 2021 have had diplomatic problems. Now, what is the cause of that problem? Morocco is accusing Algeria of supporting this group called the Polisario. Now, the Polisario are in Western Sahara. Now, Morocco had been trying to annex Western Sahara, as it turns out, and the Polisario is fighting them. And Morocco is saying that the Algerian government is backing the Polisario. So they don't want to have anything to do with the Algerians. The Algerians said, no problem. So they cut ties in 2021. Now Morocco are trying to find a way of getting into Algeria. And Algeria is saying that we will not allow you to fly direct from Rabat to Algiers. It's not going to happen. So now the challenge is, how do they get into Algeria? Do they board a flight to another place and then come there? Because they can't get a direct flight from Morocco to Algeria. That's really the backdrop of this story. That's a lot of politics playing out in sport. So that's why we are here. And up until this point, nobody knows what the final decision is. CAF is hoping against hope that the Moroccans will show up. If not, then they'll have to play the competition with one team less from Ghana's group. So the Moroccans were in Ghana's group. I don't know if they will show up. We wait to see what will happen. If not, then the Black Galaxies will have to take on Madagascar and Sudan and then see how they play out the rest of the competition from there.
Ghana's chances. Coach, quick thoughts on that.
Like I said last week, I'm going to repeat myself again. Minimum, they have to get to the quarterfinals of this tournament, because I believe that we've put together a team of good players, of a very good technical team. I believe that is where our strength is. The pair of Coach Anna Walker and Prosper Ogum, I believe, is the strength of the team. I expect them to do lots of in-game coaching, lots of reading of the game, and lots of tweaking of the system to be able to undo our opponents and give us some form of advantage. I have already said that my only problem has to do with the centre-back pair. We saw that in midweek when they played against, Mozambique or so.
Mozambique, yeah.
They considered a very sloppy goal. That cannot be allowed to happen in this tournament. Yeah. As we speak, the opening game has started between the host nation, Algeria and Libya, and if you look at the standard, Charlie Jejomoy is indeed extremely very, very tough. So,
Coach, I think Anna Walker's invited Caleb Amankwa, first of all, to try and solve his defensive issues.
Now,
yes. So
a quick draft into. You remember, I was so annoyed when the decision to get Caleb to come back to us. Yeah. I don't know, what is this?
He's in now.
What is this? We are not serious.
Talking about not being serious and all that, management committee member of the Black Stars, Alhaji Karim Grunza, is in the news. He's trending. He has alluded to the fact that some hefty sums of money might have been taken by management committee members of the team during or after the Qatar 2022 World Cup. He was speaking to Akoma FM. So let's listen to Alhaji Grunza speak. It's in Tree. We'll listen to it, we'll translate, we'll try and make sense of it, and then we'll finally just bring an end to the show. So let's listen to Alhaji Grunza sharing his thoughts on the matter.
Kram, no one can kram. Say a Giska kram. Mitina pram, no one can yamfaska numrema. Ah? Yoko Najira Omubu and the Nomukasai Omuobi. Omuobi. As you say, some journalists have been we in somehow money na omunya me abo omutimi kasa yeni momo na oka say $100,000 Ghana ni bia say enye sika we deserve it yeko Nigeria ye bahaya ni Black Star yeko Nigeria yeko ajuma na ya jai wa ha eko etobia ube ya ajuma ube yokra wonya 100 but etobia wonni ma wo ha ube nya more than that say kramwa yedi ni na ye bibia o say kramwa wo munka say ya fum kram na wo munka na yemfa ska kram na wo munka.
So Alhaji Karim Grunza there. Quick thoughts on this. So he doesn't say categorically that we were given or we have received 100,000. He says that some people are speculating that we have been given 100,000. But if we have been given 100,000, it is no crime. We suffered in Nigeria, we were beaten in Nigeria, and we are people who have worked hard and tirelessly for this country. So even if we're given more than 100,000, it is not supposed to be problematic.
Ben,
let me
do a quick one. You see, if you say a crime, if it's a crime, say it and let's bring the money back. Then it suggests that you've already been paid the money.
Is that what he says? If it's a crime,
meaning if it's a crime, say it and let's bring the money back. So where's the money then? Meaning it's with you, right? And you're willing to bring it back if it's a crime. And I think that he has confirmed what many of us were thinking, that the management members took $100,000 for their role at the World Cup. For me, I think that it sums up the lack of transparency that covered this whole World Cup. Many ask this question: how much were these members taking? How much? Tell us.
What is the breakdown of the money?
Let us know some of these things. Up to now, we still don't know how much went into that hospitality in the budget and all that. And I think, see,
all parts.
This is part of the hospitality part. You, for me, I can't say much. What I will say is, we are used to this, and I know they'll try to come out and justify this amount. They've started already that he didn't really say this, but it was just inference. Clearly, in that tree audio, you could hear. You could hear him say
play it again for us.
Yeah, he said
play
what?
It again.
Say a crime among Canadian fambra.
We'll find it and play it again. I'll play it again right about now. Okay, so let's play it again. Then we can just be clear in our minds.
Cram, no one can cram. Say a Giska cram. Mitina pram, no one can emphasize Bremer. Huh? You can Nigeria Omubu and the Nomukasai Omu hobby. As you say, some journalists have been we somehow omuni na omunya meabo omutimikasa. Yeni momo na uka say $100,000 Ghana ni biase enye sika we deserve it. Yeko Nigeria. Ye bahaya ni Black Star. Yeko Nigeria. Yeko ajuma na ya jai wa ha eko Ethiopia ube ya ajuma ube yokra winya 100. But Ethiopia wunni ma ha ube nya more than that. Say kramwa yedi ni na ye bibia say kram o mun ka say ya fum kram na mun kana emphasize kram na mun
Alaji Gonza, coach, for your own ears.
That's the key there.
In Getia, truth be told, for me, I wanted this to be one of our main topics today. But I can assure the people of Ghana, this matter,
take me to God,
will not die. This issue, we have not heard the last of it. I'm telling the people of Ghana, we are working very, very hard. Some of us, we are working 24/7 to get the breakdown of the minister's budget. And we are assuring them, whether this minister likes it or not, he will submit to Parliament, the Parliament of Ghana, the breakdown of the budget. Wabana, feature, how much each and every person took. Now I know per Alaji Gruza's pronouncement, each management member took $100,000, $100,000. No more. The breakdown will show to me how much Ketukreku took. If management 100,000, how much Henry Asante took, how much my good friend Prosperado took. It will bring. So we are not going to go. And the day we will get hold of that financial details, only God knows how much the minister took. This means only God knows how much he took.
We don't know if he took money.
No. Oh, Only God knows how much it took.
And I'm saying that is speculation. So,
Not all.
because he's not a management. Let us leave it at management.
We don't know that. No, maybe question.
I'm just saying. There are rules and regulations to everything.
Well, as a minister of
they are very, very troublesome. Let me read a few messages and then we will take the show home. This one here.
You see, before you read, I want to ask my boss. No more. Nathan Kwao. Kabo chachi oseleche. Kabo jachi. Ojachi management.
Oh no, like beje nshikani.
Ababo otuni. You were working as the pest. The what the yaba na ba. The pest. What's the name?
Hamdan.
Was it the same person in Qatar?
Hamdan. No.
Different pest holder. Okay, we'll come back to the story.
Charlie, we have closed the show. This one here says, Coach, today your prayers have gone straight to heaven and will be manifested in Jesus' name. This one's from Delali from Damba. He says, tell Coach that they shall be tomorrow against 6-2 in their home. I don't know what that means. This one here says, then my spirit is down for United and City Smart, but no one namely has awoken my spirit with this Egbu vibes. Okay, we'll see. In case I tell Coach, Man United will get beat well. The Viking Lord Haaland will show you good. That's about it from us here. Let me just say a quick shout out to my good friend Osei Tutu Ajimandia. Yeah, Charlie, you got married within the week too. Your sweet one, Anne-Marie. Congratulations to you guys. You know how to do
Charlie, I want to
it's like how to do their things.
It's like a condolence to
nice one.
A very good friend, Mike. He works at the Accra Brewery. He buried his mother today.
Mike.
Yeah, Charlie.
Have a simple.
Yeah, our condolence to him. I should have been there, but Charlie, no in trouble mo if I go for busy no can when I'm trouble no Charlie. Naturally, no, she your wife mo wonder bushing.
Nice one there. Any shout outs? I think that's about it for the show. Show probably brought to us by Betway and Good Day Energy Drink. There's a Manchester derby tomorrow, early kickoff. North London derby on Sunday. Big games in the city. I leave you with the Premier League preview show. Thank you very much to Coach namely Nathan Kwao, Evans Ofochu, Mansu Pititi, Daniel Cranting, and everybody who helped to make this show a success. Thank you for doing the listening as well and for texting in and getting to us on social media. Tomorrow we'll be here on the Premier League. Until then, enjoy the preview show.
For the striker we can consider